Hello and welcome to the All 12 Signs video series for Pluto's final ingress into the sign of Capricorn in our lifetime. My name's Chloe. I work with card divination, astrology, and as you just heard and as you can see, I channel multi-dimensional energies through my body, and this comes out through the form of vocal and physical light language. And this brings in healing, attunement, and activation codes to the messages that come through in these readings. I am reading for Leo in this video, so let us begin. Leo rising. How you doing, Leo? So I read for the rising signs. So for those of you who have Leo elsewhere in your natal chart, other than the first house, look to the house that it does fall in, look to the themes of that house, and you want to apply those themes as well as all the other meaning you've got going on in the sign of Leo to the messages that come through. It will be as if that Leo energy, wherever it falls in your natal chart, has now energetically moved to the first house. So when I break down the astrology for the rising sign, it will still link in. You just got to add on your own natal chart meaning on top of it. Firstly, I want to say there is a competition, all the details of which are in the description box. There are 3 readings up for grabs. So you can enter that as many times as you like. There is also a collective oracle reading for this Pluto transit. The energy that came through in that reading was quite phenomenal. And I talk about the overall themes of the astrology and what Pluto's up to. It's making sextiles to Neptune and Uranus. Oh, when did they flip over? Okay. All right. That I really expand on sort of what's the highest integrated and expansive frequency that Pluto's intention of the transit is. So if you want a deeper meaning and understanding of what that's all about, because then the more you sort of understand, okay, what's the root intention, you can then sort of apply that to whatever shows up in your own life. And so sometimes there are difficulties, and when we're aware of, okay, well, what's this trying to tell me? What's the root energy? That I break down in a lot more detail in the oracle reading. So this is going to be the final time. The final time anima. Dianima shelemat inima ini itanima shelemat. Sorry, I'm just let the energies that I'm working with there's going to be 3 piles. Sorry, there's just a lot of cards came out. There's going to be 3 piles and they were just moving them around. And what was I talking about? So my brain goes a little squiffy when they're doing that because I'm trying not to be in conscious mode. Right, so this is the final time that Pluto's ingressing into the sign of Capricorn, and the energy around this is quite phenomenal given the exact sextile to Neptune, the trine with Uranus. These are the 3 outer planets, right? And they are more transcendent, more galactic energy. They are the bigger, longer term eon cycles of our soul. So when these all are coming into combination with one another, they are activating a real shift in our paradigm. Right, so I'm a bit all over the place now. That sort of messed with my head a bit. I'm recording this today on Saturn's day. The moon is in Taurus, trining the sun over in Virgo. Lots of earth energy. And obviously Saturn rules Capricorn. And so we're getting the Saturnian influence come in. And this Pluto transit, this is the final foray into the sign of Capricorn. We've had this Pluto transit since 2008. So we're kind of familiar with what's going on. And for Leo rising, this is happening in your 6th house. This is the adult in the room. This is work, how you figure things out. Physical health, routines, co-workers, and pets. And so Pluto's moving back in here and recalibrating back to your root id power, your root magnetism, when it comes to your true understanding and the power of the way that you work, right? And the way that you take care of yourself and the way that you are the mature adult in the room for yourself. We've got that Capricorn collective energy. Right, that is with the 6th house of sort of co-workers, so it's kind of implying a lot of collaboration that serves us in the long-term processes. So we've got this big final shift, final reevaluation, reconnection to the fundamentals of the way that you work and the way that you understand how you figure things out, and your power of committing to sort of things that may be deemed a bit not necessarily boring, but the routines, the taking care of the physical health, those things that are very important for us that we can really struggle to do. So we're really getting a shift, an elevation, out of releasing old habits, old wounds that have blocked us from being the adult in the room, and then magnetizing a great deal of wisdom. That is going to be coming through with this transit. Now let's go over to where Neptune is. So Pluto and Neptune are making a sextile, and this is an aspect of Venus. Venus wants us to feel good in the 3D world. She wants us to connect. There's a sense of appreciation and value, a love, a desire, creativity. So we have Neptune over in the 8th house for you, Leo rising, and this is the outside world's resources. This can be mortgages, loans, taxes, car insurance. It's sort of big chunks of money or dealing with the resources of the outside world. Can be bonuses, commissions, inheritance, 3D and cosmic inheritance. It's a very psychic house. It's dealing with the reciprocity between you and anything other than yourself, the exchange, right, of time, money, energy, intimacy. It's like where relationship dynamics show up, where we can have codependency, where we can have scarcity complexes. And there's also, but fundamentally underneath of that, we want to come into balance. We want to come into a harmonious reciprocity between you and everything other than yourself. So Neptune being in the 8th, and they're all retrograde. Uranus, Pluto, Neptune, all retrograde. So this is a real inner recalibration around your inner magnetism and power and your capacity to uncover riches. Pluto, Neptune retrograde is helping us understand the reality of magic. It's very synchronistic, very empathetic, very boundarylessness, the all-encompassing ocean that is Pisces. So very sort of the desire to ebb and flow and connect with everything. But Neptune is, so we've got your relationship dynamic with Source showing up, Itya in the 8th, making a sextile to Pluto over in the 6th. So there's something around a healthier relationship dynamic with Source that's facilitating you stepping into maturity, stepping into the way with the way that you work, getting a lot of inspiration and recalibration of your understanding of your co-collaboration with Source. And we can apply that in the 3D as well, and sort of like more activating a more appreciative, reciprocal, give and take between you and the outside world in regards to the way that you work, in regards to work itself. So there may be just more opportunities for an expansion on a sort of metaphysical, spiritual level, right? Neptune is very it is the mystic, it is the all-encompassing, all the dimensions, all the frequencies. And I can see with this combination of this retrograde of really recalibrating and refining the dynamic that you have with the outside world when it comes to work, when it comes to how you figure things out, like really being able to see more possibilities, see more pathways, more connections, connecting the dots. Itiala dienimo idanimo italia dielemo ito falama dienimo itenie. Now Uranus is over in the sign of Taurus, trining Pluto, which is an aspect of Jupiter, and this is where we bring things together, we bring elevation, we bring wisdom, and we bring a sense of expansion and knowing, a confidence, a sense of abundance with Uranus and Pluto. Now Uranus wants you to walk your path and be confident walking your unique path. It's the excuse me, path clearer, the breaker of chains. It is very inventive, it's very future thinking, it is expanding into a new paradigm, right? Very sudden eureka moments, sudden liberation, sudden activations. Ito tatini mao toela. And that's in your 10th house of your career, your life purpose. Life purpose, career doesn't have to be life purpose, it can help facilitate it. It's about visibility and reputation. It's about bosses and how the big outside world sees you, right? It's that soul purpose. Ito fala diela madina. And we have this trine Pluto over in the 6th of how you figure things out, right? So we've got the Pluto's capacity to magnetize deep transformation around the way that you work that's in alignment with your soul's path, and collaborating and connecting the dots with source, with resources from the outside world, with healthier relationship dynamics. For some of you, this may be activating a capacity to bring in more resources, more collaborations, and working with other people, more projects that's in alignment with your soul path. And that can be romantic, that can be friendship, that can be work, that can be absolutely anything where there's an element of collaboration, of working with the outside world. Neptune, it's like your borders are being dissolved, so you're going to be able to bring in more soul family. Oh, I like that one. Now, Capricorn and Pisces are collective signs, so they're more the longer term cycles, the bigger picture, the bigger energy. But Taurus is a personal connection to our physical senses, to the earth. So there's a real sense of this intense collective energy feeding your individual path, your individual life path. Now obviously Uranus is also sextiling Neptune, and so we've got a lot of creative ideas, lots of possibilities, lots of inspiration coming through, like the dissolving of the borders of possibilities. We're opening up new paradigms where Uranus is very sudden sort of action, sudden momentums, like your senses may pick up on something which is going to turn into a thought form, which is going to help recalibrate and magnetize the power of the way that you work. So big energy showing up here. This is really, it just, I titled the oracle reading, what was it? The what was it? Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember what I titled the thing. Rediscovery, was it recalibration of the transcendence of consciousness, right? So this is allowing us to be really open to the unfolding of this paradigm, right? These are all in earth and water signs. This is yin energy, the observer, right? The bringing nuance and depth to something by observing and making and connecting the dots and seeing how things unfold rather than the immediate go. And what this it just feels so beautiful that it's going to be an undulating unfolding, and there's going to be it's calling us to observe the dissolving, observe the recalibration. We have that earth and water of Pisces and Capricorn, of our physical body that's linked into collective wounds, our emotional body that's linked into collective wounds, around our perception and understanding of reality and of consciousness, and how that impacts our capacity to integrate and expand. And it's recalibrating the body with Uranus, the physical body of our personal experience on this planet, to go into a future paradigm. It's going to be bringing up a lot of old dogma, a lot of old thought processes and restrictions, power dynamics during this cycle, because this is all like, this is the kind of like the sludge that's coming out that is going to be transformed by Pluto into nutrients, into nourishment, that we will then be able to then work with that in the new framework. So big, some big stuff going on. And as I said, yin. So it's calling you just observe the unfolding. You know, really give yourself moments of pause if you might be feeling overwhelmed, if there might be something going, you know, as I said, those power dynamics, the illusions, the delusions, sudden shifts and changes with Uranus. It's just to really settle back into that yin space and then see and observe your instincts and your intuition as it unfolds, because Mars and the moon, and I talk about this in the oracle reading, are making a very, like what's called a finger of God. Mars is in late degrees of Gemini. The moon will be in, I believe, late degrees of Leo at the moment that Pluto goes into Capricorn, forming two inconjuncts and a sextile, which is the discombobulated energy that's breaking us out of tradition, the inconjuncts, and harmonizing that with the sextile. So our motivation, our drive, and our action, and our intuition, our instincts from the heart are going to be very good tools to observe. Okay, what you know, really get an observer mode of like, where is this coming from? How is this unfolding? And this is going to be really strengthening your capacity to work in collaborative formations, either on the 3D or the multidimensional sphere, and or both. It's serving your long-term legacy, your life purpose, your sense of vision of where you're headed in this incarnation. Dueni, whooshanima, duela, dufana. Okay, we've got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Dinamot, inima, dinima. Right, let's get an oracle card out for you, Leos. And the dates I've put in the description box. As I said at the beginning of the video, there is a competition, and so yeah, there's 3 readings up to grabs. You might want to do it on what Pluto's up to in this transit. It's just really getting you in your power, right? That's serving the ecosystem of the planet, which is pretty that's serving right, having Capricorn in the 6th, right? This is a real sense of commitment, of integrity in the way that you work, of like wanting to do, you're only able to do the things that are able that are part of the longer term pattern. There's a lot of dedication having Capricorn in the 6th. And this feels like it's going to be adding a layer of dedication to this new timeline, to this new paradigm that we're bringing in, that is going to be very subjective to everybody, right? We're all living in our own little universes, but there's definitely an elevation of our frequency in the collective consciousness going on. And Leo, right? So Neptune over in Pisces and Pluto over in Capricorn, they are forming can I get you one more? They are forming a yod, a finger of God, to your Leo energy. So there's going to be a real focal point on how you embody yourself. One more card, one more oracle. Diana, that is calling you with this transit to really give yourself space to step into unknown territory in the way that you move. Give yourself space to contemplate and observe different possibilities, right? Leo, you're fixed. Fixed can keep on going. It can struggle to shift gear. All depends if you've got mutable in your chart, whether that's more of an easier flow for you. That Leo energy can just, for any fixed sign, can be very stubborn, right? There's an element of rigidity, and so you've got this cardinal activation with Pluto and the mutable energy of Neptune feeding into your Leo energy that's saying, hey, there's gonna be things, inspirations with that cardinal energy that instigate, and that Neptune energy is allowing the fluidity for your fixed energy to adapt and shift that serves the long-term fixed goals. But just be really mindful of being open to being fluid, right? And to trying out different possibilities and different ways of doing things. Now let's get into the tarot, Leo. So this is the intention of Pluto, right? What is the most integrated, expansive intention that Pluto's showing up for the Leo collective? We have the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Star. You've actually got a couple of bonus cards there. So this is about the journey beyond your heart being restricted. Okay, so the Three of Swords, Leo rules the heart. These are wounds that have blocked the heart from it being able to vibrate in its fullest form. That doesn't have to be about romance. It can be in any framework. And if we're thinking about work, physical health, routine, being the adult in the room, so often that sixth house gets neglected. Often parental figures, you may have suffered some various forms of neglect. There may have been relationship dynamics with neglect where you then recreate that and neglect yourself, and you're not able to be as fully mature and like do the best for yourself in every given moment. That is the sixth house. And so often we can prioritize other people's needs, other people's health, other people's the way that they work, supporting them, and that has limited your capacity to co-collaborate. So this showing up as the intention of Pluto is for deep healing, especially with the Star, which is Aquarius, which is the seventh house of the other, right, of relationships, what important relationships in your life, that we need to figure out the sixth in order to have healthy relationships with ourselves and with the people around us. And so I love that this is showing up, that Pluto's intention is to release this, is to release those wounds, because we then have the Eight of Cups, which happens to be Saturn in Pisces, right? Where, Pisces is that relationship dynamics, the codependency, the giving too much, taking too much, scarcity mindset, where there's an awareness that Pluto's saying the final swords are coming out, that Pluto's going to be revealing and unveiling and giving you the courage and the power to walk away from deep-rooted unconscious response mechanisms. As I said, those parental love languages, the neglect that we then gets embodied within us, that we then recreate. This is the final frontier of walking away from that and getting a higher perspective, right? A better, more healthier perspective in the eighth house, because remember, Saturn is ruling Capricorn, so Saturn's influencing Pluto. And but Jupiter's ruling Pisces, so Jupiter's influencing Saturn. Jupiter's about your hopes and your dreams. Really, we want to be tracking the Mercury transit, because Mercury's ruling Jupiter and therefore ruling the rest of the chart, right? Where was I? The Saturn in the eighth of what it's trying to do, that whole Saturn transit, is a level of maturity, authority, and commitment and legacy in terms of how you interact with the world, and what you stand for, and what you put up with, and what you're going to put your energy into. So it's highlighting again that Saturnian energy of really moving away from dynamics that have caused heartbreak and heart pain and discordian energy, where your heart, your big Leo heart, hasn't been able to be fully embodied. They're just hitting the heart space now. And then we have the Six of Swords. And so this is, these are both sort of traveling energies of acknowledging that this transit is shifting you into this new timeline. And with the Seven of Swords, I love how that follows the cups, right? So often words, perspectives, limitations, and the mental suit affects our emotional body, right? The cup energy. And then we go back to the swords of you now moving into a new landscape, a calmer landscape, right? Where you're taking with you the core perspectives, your core ideas and constructs of self, in the way that you work, in the way that you take care of yourself, in the way that you're the adult in the room, in the way that you want to co-collaborate, because co-workers is in the sixth. So there's a something of working together with others. There's pets as well, so there's a sense of responsibility and duty. Atum atinima diana. And so you are taking with you in this new journey some core perspectives that are going to serve you to thrive in the new landscape. And then we have the Three of Wands and the Star. The Three of Wands is the sun in Aries, and the Star is Aquarius. So we think of Aries for you, ninth house of your perspectives. Aquarius is the seventh of one-to-one relationships. Those business partners, clients, intimate friends, longer-term committed romantic relationships, as well as your relationship with Source. That's the lens in which it appears, what you're drawn to. The dynamic is the eight. So it's really interesting. We've got that sixth, eighth, and 10th of life purpose, career. This can be work, this can be friends, this can be your connection with Source, as well as the seventh and the ninth of your perspectives when you're interacting on an intimate level with important people one-on-one in your life, or entities, or whatever it is, that you are embarking on a new journey with that sense of power within yourself. Sun in Aries, this figure knows that they do the best that they can in any given moment. They are embarking on a new journey. They're feeling very confident. They're not worried, they're not planning, they're not stressing. They just know they show up, and they show up as the best that they are, right? With the star, the uniqueness of you, right? The sense of galactic energy, your star energy. This is your hopes and dreams, right? This is also that Aquarian energy of you showing up very confidently. You're embarking on a new journey of how you interact very uniquely yourself. She's unclothed, rid of masks, and very healing as well. Her energy is very healing, of how you show up with others and how they show up with you. In terms of like the work, physical health, routines, there's a real sense of an elevation of the galactic energy within you that is going to be able to access deep healing, deeper modes, deeper processes around how you understand how you work. And the frequency of it is you're ready to go, right? This Pluto transit's going to be like, I'm open, I'm exploring, I'm open for the downloads, for the star downloads. This may see a business partner come in. This may see more clients come in that appreciate your work. Uranus over in the 10th house of the life purpose, right? This can be about healthy relationships in your life, intimate friends, long-term committed romantic relationships, Source, that serve your life purpose. Woo! I'm off on a roll here. Now, the challenge. The challenge of this transit and how to work with it. We have the Lovers in reverse, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Cups. So this is kind of mirroring the intention, okay? The Lovers in reverse. So the Lovers, obviously, this is about union. This is about connection. This can represent blockages of being able to collaborate, to be in a full state of union with your physical body, with your routines, with other people, with the way that you work, right? So there's certainly blockages here that are coming up. It's kind of giving the energy of very heightened independence that needs to soften. It doesn't mean that you don't follow your own path, but the sense of the Lovers in reverse is like, no, I can do it all by myself. I do not need to be connected, right? I am what I am. Which you want to hold while at the still time be open to collaboration. And this may be bringing up wounds where you just for whatever reason, relationships haven't worked, working with other people, there's never been the healthy elevated reciprocity that you're calling for, that your Leo heart calls for. And that wound may come up during this transit because it's getting worked out. You know, this is Gemini, and that is your 11th house of your hopes and dreams, friends, groups and alliances, as well as reaping the benefits from your 10th house. So, you know, blockages around wounds, frustrations around not reaping the benefits from your 10th house with that 8th house of the resources of how your work is perceived, and whether it's you're magnetizing towards you, work, clients, career. With the lovers in reverse, is really highlighting blockages around that that this Pluto transit is bringing to the surface, as I said, in order to break down. We have the feminine, masculine and spirit all together, right? The lovers predominantly is about being able to make the right decisions, because when we are unified, when we are integrated, we are able to then make the right decisions for us at important crossroads in our lives. So if we think about that 6th house of work, right, and physical health and routines combined with the relationship dynamics, the resources from the outside world, on the multidimensional sphere, your life purpose, that the challenge that's coming up is the inability to perhaps to be able to see the path, to make the right decisions. A framework that is perhaps, you know, sort of like like a broken compass. Energy coming up with this transit. And so we've got with it of how to work with it. We've got 2 2s, which is always quite significant when we've got duplicates of numbers, because it's saying something's coming into balance. So how to work with it. We've got the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Swords is about this figure for me. So she's reached a new land, right? You know, she's come to this new space, and now she's going inward to contemplate who she is, who she was before, what she wants to bring with her, and into this new world. So it's really calling you to, it's the moon in Libra, so it's about getting balanced within yourself, of spending time in meditation, in stillness, when these sort of the lovers in reverse shows up for you, that it's really calling you to go within and trust the intuition that comes forth when you spend that time observing all the perspectives and seeing what your intuition is calling you to focus on. Because this is acknowledging the journey here. This is acknowledging that this is stepping into a new frequency, because she's reached the new land, but now it's figuring out, who are you truly? And I think there's going to be some situations that come up that are going to help unveil that. And then we have the 2 of Cups again. So it's very similar to the lovers. We've got the masculine and feminine spirit all coming together in union. They are eye to eye. They are equal with one another. There is respect, honor, and dignity. And we've got the sword and the water suit. So there's something around, again, which we had here, of the words, the constructs that impact your emotional body. So with that 2 of Cups and the caduceus here, which is a symbol of healing, as well as the kundalini rising, that this is saying that there may be situations that come up that don't match this, and you're having to go inward and be like, do I want to give my energy to that? There may be some tough calls that you're going to be making during this cycle around like really honoring what this means, this sense of reciprocity. They are both offering their cups. They are both willing to share. This is collaboration. This is co-creation. So it's calling you to really focus on this energy when you're in this space. And also treat yourself treat yourself with love and respect in the way that you work, and honor the actions that you take of this. Whether you get that back or not, it's about you stepping into this frequency. It's up to the other person how they respond, or the entity or the energy, or a part of you that you're engaging with that may find it a little bit difficult to receive. It's very much lined in with the Mercury retrograde, which is elevating a level of healthy reciprocity. So with that 6th, 10th, 8th going on, there is a call for you to get balanced and get into union with yourself, with your emotional body, with your mental sphere, and that will provide a lot of wisdom, a lot of inspiration come in as of what the next steps are, and I like the pause and then the action that's coming with this, because we've got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and this is divine inspiration of sovereignty, right? This is clarity that's coming through, and your ability is the renewal of your framework of perception. It just feels like that sword, the Ace of Sword, is going to be very it just feels like it's going to glimmer when you're not around this, when you're not experiencing that, and when you are not embodying it, and it's going to help you realign back to this union. Okay, so how to amplify this energy? Here we have the King of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. So the King of Cups is all about emotional control, is acknowledging you are in a storm. But the way through that is getting into the eye of the storm, of like, everything's chaos. The universe is chaos and order at the same time. We've got polarities and paradoxes. Let's be real. It's also love. It's also death, destruction, all those things, right? It's the how we emotionally connect to our environment that is key, because we can have the best transits in the world that then kick up something quite dramatic because they're taking you to the next level. And it's like holding the line. So the King of Cups knows it's sitting on a stone throne in an ocean, on top of the ocean, and isn't worried and isn't bothered. Its emotional resonance isn't being triggered. It's not in a fear response state. It's in a parasympathetic nervous state, right? Where it understands the power of emotions. It's not denying the fear. The fear is there. It is not enmeshed and entangled, because the king is sovereign. And so there's an honoring of the emotional body, while also maintaining a level of emotional calm, right? So this is really calling you to get into that center, get into that space, to cultivate your emotional responses. In terms of the 6th, in terms of work, right? This is, acting on your intuition when it comes to figuring things out on the next level of work. There's something with that King of Cups that's calling you. Kings take action, right? They initiate. So there's something around your intuition, your sense of following the love of the way that you work as well. But doing so in a very sort of mature, centered space. We then have the Four of Pentacles. So I love this card. This card for me is all about getting back to your inherent frequency. And creating from that space without the distortions from the external world. Because I always feel like there's a force field around here. We've got the pentagrams underneath the feet, heart and crown chakra. So there's a level of material, how we build in the material world from our sovereignty, from the crown, from our inner divinity. And so so this is saying, maybe do a little meditation every day. of like having a shield up from not being distorted in a way that diminishes your soul's frequency by the outside world, and then creating from that place, getting into your power. This is all about focusing of getting into your sovereign power. So there's and then we've got the Knight of Wands, which is sort of, we've got the initiatory energy, the building energy, and then the action that we take from that, the instincts, the movement that we make from that. And so you could do a little meditation of centering your emotional body, imagining you're the King of Cups, that your emotions are your water energy is in union, and then activating it, your soul's frequency to build, and then seeing what your instinctive actions are to take, to move, to because fire is very instinctive, that is going to elevate your sovereignty in the way that you work. So, 2 oracle cards. We have many masks, the authentic self. Skybridge, possibility for union. The authentic self, energizing internal allies, a conscious shift. We live in a world where everyone we see wears a mask. We wear these masks to cover up and protect who we really are. We learn to do so because we've been conditioned to try and appear a certain way to fit into society. Masks allow us to belong, so we remain within the confines of what is expected. Masks are not inherently bad, rather they provide context and structure for our personalities and soul's expression. Some of us might believe that a particular mask fixed and hardened onto us is our permanent space. I talked about that fixed energy earlier. We forgot that we are living beings with a multitude of faces, enabling us to experience a fuller, more vibrant world. So that's going back to what I was saying about how Pluto and Neptune are forming a finger of God, a yod or yod, to your Leo energy, right? That fire energy of how you then take action. Right, of getting into a space where through doing this meditation, seeing what comes up and being playful about it. Right, remember Jupiter is in Gemini, very playful, very curious. This is about being in a space of observing and then shifting and changing and being playful without expectations. It's going to bring forth a more authentic you. Because we've got that, we've got that water of Neptune, the earth of Capricorn, and then the fire of Leo. Your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now is the time to strip away the mask you've accepted and discover who you really are. A new self is emerging and your perception changes as you adopt new ways of being. We can see the 8th with the 6th of kind of like groupthink in how the outside world perceives and receives the way that you work may have influenced the way that you then work, right? And the way that you walk your path. That with these retrogrades, these are about going back over old territory, refining, revisiting, and also releasing internally processes of expectations and understandings around the way that you work. Right? Rather than comparison is the thief of joy. This is really calling you to focus on your frequency and what's showing up for you rather than what the outside world wants you to do and conform. This is about breaking against that. Right now, it's really important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience the world in all its myriad potentials and possibilities. Try on different masks and let yourself be fluid and curious. How will you know what you love and what you resonate with if you don't take off the masks you've always worn and test drive some new ones? Your authentic essence will never change. It will only express itself differently through these optional selves. Through trial and error, you discover more and more about who you want to become. What would it feel like to explore this side of you? Anything is possible if you're willing to open up your potential. You truly can move beyond the barriers that society has set. Use your imagination and step into the magic. Itufala dienia. Dofana. Sky Bridge. Possibility for union. What needs to be connected or disconnected? You stand before a seemingly unbreachable abyss and there is no possibility of retreat. The path behind you is no longer a viable option. You have to act soon though, or you run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. Life has brought you to this moment to offer you an as yet undreamt of possibilities. But you must no longer postpone what you know to be inevitable. And yes, you are allowed a breath or two before the leap. So take a bit of time to yourself, get away for a day or two of contemplation, or even just a few minutes walk to clear your head. Muster your courage so that you may cross the sky bridge. Sky bridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Remember not to confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparation. Respond with a determined yes and let the universe take care of the details. You only need to hold your positive affirmation and the way will become obvious as you take flight and clear the abyss. So that's really interesting with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, right? And that sense of that sixth house for me, if you figure that out, that's when you get healthier relationships of union with you and source, with you and the rest of the world. So this other version of you beyond that, those old dynamics is going to be coming through. You've just got to perhaps just spend a little time creating space to allow that to come out. Well, Leo, a little longer than expected. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, it would bring me great joy and obviously help the algorithm. If you hit that like button, don't forget to enter the competition. And Leo, be good to yourselves, be good to those around you, safe travels, and be well until we meet again.